Hello everybody, my name is Edson and welcome back to a PUBG talkie video. This is not a challenge video, this is not one of those. This is more of a video of me explaining or just generally talking about the game. It's a game that I've spent over 200 hours in now. I've only had it for about 3-4 months. So it sort of shows how much I'm enjoying this game and I'm extremely passionate about it and I want to create videos about it. So this one is just going to be about the sort of changes that need to be made to the game in my opinion. There's a lot of glitches there and I'm not going to focus on them. I'm not going to focus on the things that are already coming to the game that we know about that has been mentioned, like the vaulting, like any new weapons or anything like that, any new vehicles, any new maps or just anything like that. I want to focus on things that haven't been mentioned, things that nobody knows are coming, that may be coming, we don't even know. There's a few glitches that I would like to mention first that I really want fixed ASAP. Like the invisible parachutes, because the amount of times that you drop, you think nobody's with you, and there seems to be like 4 people around. Then you've got the menu systems, extremely buggy. Obviously, we do know that the menu systems are just temporary, and there's going to be a lot of changes there. But there's sometimes where like all of you, 3 of you will ready up, and then as the 4th person readies up, it then like cancels it, and then you're in this cycle, and then everyone has to restart the games, and it's just a endless, like sometimes you're stuck in that situation for like 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. And all the small things like the loot spawning late. So like if you drop if obviously you notice it more when you drop at a populated place, you need to get the loot straight away. Something like school where you drop on top of the roof, the loot just takes that like few extra seconds to spawn, and you're just stuck there waiting, and you don't. Whereas if you could see it when you're parachuting in, you can maneuver yourself to get to the better loot or to move away from the person that's landing next to the good loot. And it's just those small things which will just make life a little bit easier and make people feel like they're actually enjoying the game a little bit more. But there's 10 things that I want to mention that I think should be added or changed within PUBG to make it a better experience for all. These are obviously my opinions. If you guys disagree with them, let me know. Have a discussion in the comments down below. Don't go shouting at me or shouting at other people. These are just my opinions and everyone has their own. Let me know what you guys think of these, of anything that you would like implemented or new things you'd like PUBG to have, and just let me know. Let's have a discussion. So the first thing, the thing that's a hot debate within the group that I play with, and that is the rain map. So there's currently a load of different weather types. There's the clear skies, there's the normal, I would class it as, but it's like slightly cloudy, sunny. Then you've got the sunset slash, some people say it's sunset, some people say it's dawn. Nobody really knows, but the sunset map. Then you have the rain map, and the rain to me is relentless. It is this constant. For me, it's too loud. I think the hot fix for that is to just turn the rain down by 50% to start off with while you work on something new. Because for me, by the time I've played, if I last to the end of the game, sort of like top 10, something like that, last couple of circles, by that time I've got a headache playing on the rain map, just because of how relentless the sound is. It's a constant droning sound that's like super loud, and I could turn it down, but then I just wouldn't hear anything in game, you know. So it's like it's one of those that's, and some people like that sound and some people don't. It's just, I don't know, for me, as soon as I get on the rain map, me and my friends just back out and just re-queue. Same when I'm playing by myself, just back out, re-queue. I'm not playing on that until they fix it or change it. It's too loud for me, the rain. The second thing, I would like the AFK players to be removed, because people pad stats with that and are essentially getting currency in the game. So like I did it the first ever time I dropped with the AFK people. I didn't realise I dropped at the very end. I then got some loot, and then I looked back and I could see like 8 to 9 people stood there just in a field. Obviously I ran over and killed them. I then died later on in the game, only finished like 50th or something, but I got like 1,200 coins for all of the kills that I got. I got a couple more kills on top of that. I got to like 12 kills or something. 8 of those were AFK people, and I'm just thinking, like, people can just pad stats with that and just get the battle points, which you can then buy crates, and then you can then earn Steam credit for. And I'm sure there's people that are doing that right now. So I genuinely think if you get kicked out of the plane, and you don't move, once you've landed on the ground, I think it should be 30 seconds before you move. And if you haven't moved within 30 seconds, you get kicked. Because that's hopefully enough time for people not to do the AFK. Or maybe even like 10 seconds or something, and then you get a warning, and then you have to move, then you can get kicked or something. I don't know. Or maybe they kick them, or maybe it sort of like removes them from the game into like a menu where they can rejoin within the next 2 minutes or something. But they have to obviously just like click something to rejoin. So like they can't get killed, but people could, I don't know, that they're just invisible. I don't know. There's ways around it to remove the AFK people so people can't pad stat. I would like that. Another thing, third on the list, hotkey to cycle through boosters and meds. So I'd love it in the game whether you could obviously assign a key, so you could hold down, so you can assign keys to like bandage yourself up and stuff like that, and use boosters. But I'd like it if you could assign a key to have like something pop up and then you can scroll through. So like, say like to the right of your crosshair, you hold, like say like you hold down, I don't know, the G key. You hold down the G key. You've bound it to that, or one of the buttons on your mouse wheel or something. One's for meds, one's for boosters. You click one of those buttons, then something comes up on the right of your crosshair, and you can scroll through which one you want to use. And as soon as you let go, it starts using that thing. So whether it's like a booster or a certain med or something like that. So there's ways that you can do it so you don't have to just bind loads of different keys, and you can sort of have a little bit of a better experience there. Fourth thing, the red zone. I've played, and it's a joke with me and my stream and everyone that I play with. Every time the red zone comes and we're running through, I'm like, I've never died in the red zone. It's impossible. It just doesn't happen. Truth be told, I've been knocked out in the red zone once. I've been knocked out. No, I've been knocked out in the red zone twice. Both in squads. Both times I've been revived. I've played 220 hours in this game. I don't shy away from the red zone. If I'm in it, I just run around and play normally. The red zone is not deadly enough. I genuinely think if the red zone happens, you want to, like, I want it not super deadly that you just, if you're outside, you're going to die. But I would like double the amount of area to be covered from the red zone, so that when you're actually in the red zone, you're like, crap, we need to get inside or find cover, like now. So you're not just, it's not an insta death if you're running for the field, but it could possibly end you. Like, it's just super rare that it sort of does anything to you now, or does anything to you in general. Like I say, 220 hours in this game, and I've only been down by it twice, and I don't shy away from it at all. I'm not one of these people that runs away from it. I genuinely just carry on looting as if it's normal, and that shouldn't be a thing. So at the minute, it just seems like a novelty, and I genuinely think it should be more deadly. The fifth thing on my list is a circle improvement. So this is a hot topic just generally in the community ever since the game's been released. And there's a lot of people that I agree with this, and there's a lot of different things that I genuinely think could work. The one that I've sort of settled on in my mind is, so the first few circles, keep them as they are. I think the first circle is slow enough, it damages you slow enough that you can still loot outside the circle for a bit. So people that want to play that game, perfectly fine. That's great. I genuinely do like that. If I get 6 to 7 boosters and I want to carry on looting outside the blue, especially when the first circle is coming in or landed and then you need to go to the next circle, I think that's cool. So the first, I'd say 2, 3, maybe even 4 circles are fine. I say once it gets to the 4th circle and then it goes to the 5th, I genuinely would like, or maybe even not even that, maybe when there's, I don't know, 6 or 7, I'd say it'd have to work with player numbers as well. So say like there has to be 20 people left. So as long as there's 20 or less people left and you're, I don't know, 3 circles from the end or something, I think every kill that is made should halt the circle. So it should add maybe 20 seconds or maybe 10 seconds onto the circle. So you've got enough time to take a fight. So how it would work is, say there's 20 people left, the circle's coming in, it's one of the last circles. I would say it should only really be like the last 3 circles maybe. So when there's like, and it has to be like I say, X amount of people left, because there's a lot of killing to happen if there's like 40 people and you're in the last 3 circles for whatever reason, like it's a populated area or something, I don't know. So say there has to be 20 people left, it has to be the 3rd circle from the end or something. But when it gets to that point with those numbers and all of the stipulations are met, it should be, if someone gets killed, the timer gets paused, or you get 10 seconds added to the timer, or if the blue's coming in, it stops for 10 seconds. Gives you enough time to, or an X amount of time. I think it should be short. Gives you enough time to med up. It gives you enough time to run over and loot that person if you want. It gives you enough time to carry on moving into the circle if you are on sort of like the long side of the circle and you really need to book it to get in. And it just makes it so people aren't just circle running, because everyone's been in that situation where like you see someone, that person sees you. If either of you stop to shoot the other person, you may get that kill, but you're going to die in the blue. Whereas now, if this was the case, obviously it should only happen later on in the game, I believe. If you stop to shoot that person and you win that fight, the circle starts for 10 seconds. So if you believe you're good enough to take that fight, you do. But obviously, it's up to you then. You could die in the blue, you could miss the shots. That person could turn around and then start shooting you, go, okay, we're taking this fight, let's do it. And then if they win, they get the circle, like the circle starts for 10 seconds. And it also means you, like, so like, then it doesn't encourage camping. So if people are just sat there doing nothing, the circle just carries on moving in as normal. Fair enough. But if people are genuinely running around killing each other, then the circle just keeps getting paused, and so be it. If there's 20 people left that don't crouch, that don't go prone, that are just running, jumping around, shooting each other, they should be allowed to run around, jump and shoot each other as much as they want without the circle bothering them. If they're genuinely going out looking for the fights, the circle should give them the time to do so, or the added time to do so. That's sort of what I think on the matter, and I think could be something that they could start working towards. There's lots of other ideas out there on the Reddit and stuff like that genuinely are some good ideas. So I don't know, let me know what you think of that. The 6th one, practice range, shooting/practice range. I'm going to do an actual extra video just specifically on this point. This game needs something like a shooting, like we've all landed at the shooting range. It needs like a shooting range, it needs a practice range of something where like there's targets moving at various distances, that are like people running, that are people running, jumping, stuff like that. This game just needs that. You have things like crossbows, which are super powerful, but nobody can actually physically practice with it, so nobody's really ever going to pick it up. And it's like, and there's the snipers like the SKS. I genuinely would use the SKS if I just had some time to practice with it. I'm still so bad with it. I hardly ever get it. It's not something I get so often, and when I get it, I'm just terrible with it. Like, if I could go into a practice range, spend a couple of hours just shooting, moving targets, I would pick it up more often, and there would be more variety. I wouldn't just only go for the bolt action snipers, you know? So, 7th thing on the list, I think. Yeah, 7th thing on the list is there should be an option. I genuinely believe there should be an option for downed players. So if you're in duos or squads, if you go down and if you get shot and you go down, there should be an option, because you're crouched over and your back's sticking up, and obviously if you've got a big backpack, like people can still see you sort of crouching around through the grass. There should be an option to go prone, but as soon as you go prone, you can't move. So you can crawl around like you do normally, but if you're in sort of like long grass or something, or like next to a bush, you can crawl to the bush and you can just go prone, but then you can't move. Then you can't physically move at all. Then I think that would just be a cool thing, so people can have a little bit more option when they got downed, to sort of like save themselves, you know. I also think number 8th on the list, a final kill cam. I would like a final kill cam. The final kill of the game. It'd be cool that everyone that was still there spectating got to rewatch that final kill. I think that'd be quite cool, just to see how people, or see where people were. More so for the person, the duo or the squad that lost, to understand where that person was, because quite a few other times you don't actually know where they are, and it'd be quite cool to see. The 9th suggestion would be to draw on the map. I would love it if we could draw on the map. Now, obviously, this would mean that people could just draw horrendous things on the map or write things on the map. It should only be for your squad, your team. And you should be able to delete people's drawings, so they should be separate to markers. There should be markers and there should be drawings, and people can enable and unenable their team's drawings appropriately. So people can, because obviously this would be abused if you go into random squads and stuff. People would just scribble on the map, but you should be able to remove that for yourself, so they're just hindering themselves, you know. The 10th and final thing, there should be, I've never really played randoms, but I know this is a thing with a lot of randoms. It's quite hard to find people on Steam once you've already played with them. So it'd be cool if they actually had, like, when the game finished, you could add them on Steam, or you could re-queue with them as well. So you could, like, vote to re-queue with the same squad. That'd be quite a cool thing, and it could obviously work with people that are just duoing up and or like playing together just generally, like in Discord or something. Their friends are playing. You could then just re-queue, vote to re-queue rather than going back to the menus, loading it up and stuff like that. That'd just be my idea anyway. So that's the 10 things that I think that I would like changing, that I would like adding to PUBG. I think that'd all make it good. It'd make it a better experience for quite a lot of people that play this game, to be honest. There's, like I said, there's the obvious glitches that need fixing as well, and there's a lot of new content that is coming, but that's some ideas that I have for PUBG and where it could go and some things that they could do to improve it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys would like. Thanks for watching. Take care.